morning, everyone. I will be presenting our study of Scheinflug analysis of corneal haze following different collagen cross-linking technique done for progressive keratoconus, where we compared standard epithelium of contact lens assisted and transepithelial cross-linking technique. There is no financial interest in our study, as we all know that corneal cross-linking is an most commonly practiced and an established treatment to stabilize progressive keratoconus, and post operative corneal haze is most commonly observed in up to 90% of eyes in varying degrees, which can be graded on slit lamp but is very subjective. So Scheinflug densitometer is available that allows objective quantification of corneal haze. In our study, we utilize this modality to evaluate changes in corneal haze after CXL over 12 months duration period and compare its scores with different techniques. In literature, standard epithelium of and transepithelium have already been described, but contact lens assisted corneal haze has not been described. This was a retrospective study done in our centers where patients undergoing CXL with complete data up to 1 year were recruited, and corneal haze was measured on pentacam done pre-operatively and post-operatively at 1 month, 3 months, 6 months and 12 months duration. Sample size included 95 eyes of 85 patients, and we included patients with corneal thickness more than 350 micron, and standard CXL was done for the eyes with corneal thickness more than 450 micron, and in 350 to 450 micron CACXL and transepithelial CXL was preferred. Briefly describing our surgical technique, standard epi-off was done in accordance to Dresden protocol involving central epithelial debridement and loading phase and UV radiation phase each of 30 minutes. Contact lens assisted was basically same with exception of UV radiation phase where riboflavin soaked contact lens was applied to increase the effective corneal thickness. Whereas in transepithelial CXL, no epithelial debridement was done and rest was same. And the corneal densitometry was done using the inbuilt software available on the pentacam, where it measures the corneal densitometry values in grayscale units in anterior, central and the posterior layer in different annuli done around the apex. So in our study, the baseline visual acuity and the MRSE was comparable, whereas in transepithelial and contact lens assisted group, pachymetry was thinner and it was more advanced. Baseline densitometry in all three groups was comparable in all the layers. So post CXL, what we observed that in standard CXL there was a maximum change in the corneal haze which peaked at around 3 months and slowly declined over 12 months, but was still more than that of the baseline but was not significant statistically. Whereas in contact lens epithelial group and transepithelial group, there was only a slight raise in corneal haze, but that was not significant statistically. In CACXL group, it was same from 1 to 6 months and then declined from 6 to 12 months. Whereas in transepithelial group, it declined after 1 month and remained lower than the baseline. Similar pattern was seen in all the layers, maximum in anterior layer and minimum in the posterior most layer. Comparing the different annuli, it was seen that there was a maximum increase in haze in the central 2 mm area in all three groups in all the layers, and in central area even at 12 months that haze was significantly higher than that of the baseline in standard CXL group but not in the other two groups. Similar relation was seen in all the layers. Comparing the visual and the topographic outcomes, it was observed that there was a similar comparable amount of improvement in the visual acuity in three groups, and the amount of flattening also observed was comparable in three groups. Safety wise and progression wise, the similar all three groups were comparable. So it was seen that all three techniques appear to be equally efficacious, and correlation analysis was done correlating densometry score with visual acuity, keratometry and change in keratometry at 12 months. But there was no correlation was found. So it suggested that corneal haze may just be associated with CXL induced biomechanical changes in wound healing process but not the extent of CXL induced stiffening. So we concluded that all three procedures are efficacious with less haze development in contact lens assisted and transepithelial cross-linking technique, corneal haze may not be predictive of the treatment outcome, and there was no correlation with visual acuity observed. Therefore, CACXL and transepithelial CXL could be an acceptable alternative to standard CXL method, especially for thin cornea with equivalent efficacy, safety, minimal corneal haze, and early recovery. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So you did say that the corneal haze was less at the end of your study period in standard CXL.
Ma'am, as compared to all the three groups.
Sorry, it was more. It was
Yes,
more.
ma'am.
Yeah.
So there was some persistent haze was still there in standard CXL group, but not in the other two groups.
So would that affect the visual acuity?
No, ma'am.
Would you be concerned about then moving to another modality of doing your CXL since the haze is more with standard?
Yes, ma'am.
Because
no,
all of us prefer to do standard other than the others.
in pediatric children we still prefer to, but no correlation with visual acuity was seen. But in especially in thin corneas where standard CXL cannot be done because of the endothelial degeneration risk of it, so transepithelial CXL could be a good alternative without any without affecting their impact on effectiveness.
Thank you.